Hey guys, welcome back to another Cultured Boys discussion. I'm Pepe and I'm joined by Nathan, but I'm also joined by Wilderside, aka Sam, and Matt from the Powered Up Couple. And today we're going to be talking about One Piece theories. That's right, we're going to be speculating, we're going to be guessing what's coming up in the series. And to lead us in this, Sam is going to actually be leading this because I haven't come up with no theories. However, Sam's come up with a whole bunch of them, or found them. And he's going to be found. Okay, he hasn't come up with any theories because he doesn't do his own work.
By the way, this just to mention, this is a promise kept from like a year ago, so it's finally happened. I know Sam wanted to do this a while back.
I have been pestering these guys about doing this video for a long time. I'm basically like constantly on One Piece talk of TikTok, and all of these theories just come up all the time, and they're just so interesting. And I've been holding off, like texting Pepe or Nath about it, and just like let's just do an episode of it, and I'll comprise all of what I think are the best ones together, and then we can discuss them live. I say live. We can just discuss them together
this is live as this is gonna
on
get.
this podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, let's not make promises we're definitely not keeping of a live one.
And I was invited.
but like this is one thing, like we've spoken to Matt loads of times before, that Matt is always like, he's a massive One Piece fan as well.
I'm rereading One Piece at the minute.
Rereading One Piece, yeah.
I've been rereading it for about 2.5 weeks at most in my spare time, and I'm already back up to Fishman Island.
Oh,
Nice.
right. Oh, okay.
I reread recently as well, up to Punk
Fishman
Hazard.
Island is so good.
What was that, Sam? Sorry?
I've reread up to Punk Hazard quite recently as well.
Dang.
I've been rewatching One Piece, like come and go on and off from like probably I'd say 2013 when I started collecting the DVDs. So I currently like have up to I think volume 26, I think, and that is at the start of Dressrosa at the end of Punk Hazard. So yeah, I've been on and off this for the past like while now.
So you've got the longest day to watch, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, Dressrosa is no, it's a slog right now. It's a great arc, but yeah. But anyway,
I feel like I haven't put in my due diligence.
yeah.
What?
I caught up with the manga today. I haven't read,
Yeah, there you go. One thing I will say is some of these theories will be spoilers up until the most recent chapter.
Yes. So
and also I do, of course, and I'm sure the boys would agree, I do think, for these theories, credit due where credit goes. So even though I do know them, but I don't know them off the top of my head, I will re-look into where I found each of these theories and let them know so they can pop it in the description.
that's great. Thank you. Sam.
Perfect. We will definitely be crediting everybody
Yes.
for their hard work.
Just to reiterate what Sam just said, there will be spoilers in this, including manga spoilers, I assume, right?
Yes, so I can tell. Yes, spoilers up until the current chapter of
Yeah.
the most recent chapter. What I will do is before each theory, I will give a little spoiler warning as to where that is up to the end of.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant.
I mean, that'd be great, but I feel like we don't need to. Look, we're just going to put spoiler warning. It'll be in the thumbnail. It'll be everywhere.
Yeah.
You've been warned.
Just
yeah,
spoilers
blanket
everywhere.
Blanket statement.
Spoilers,
Honestly, I
spoilers
think
up
the
until the
blanket
end of
statement's
where One Piece currently is, everyone.
Yeah.
And,
Exactly. Spoiler warning, you've been warned.
And if
There you go.
Yeah.
Echiro Oda steals any of our theories, then
Yeah.
it'll be credit where that's due, and he'll put our names in the book, and it'll be fine.
Not even the guys that created the theories, the guys that talked about it.
Culture Boys rewrote One Piece.
Right. Without further ado, Sam, do you want to give your first theory then?
Sure. So this one is actually one of the most talked about theories, I think, and it's touching on our good friend Marshall D. Teach, aka Blackbeard. So the main theory is that he will eat 3 devil fruits. So as we all know, through an unknown method at Marineford, Teach ate Whitebeard's devil fruit. We're only told that Teach's body is special, which is how he was able to do this. Some people believe Blackbeard has already eaten 3 fruits, as 3 is very prominent in Blackbeard. He has 3 guns, 3 ties in his beard. His Jolly Roger is 3 skulls. 3 clearly plays a part here. Maybe he will acquire one of each devil fruit, people are thinking. So he's already got a zone. He's already got a paramecia. He's already got a logia. What we don't know is if he's got a zone, would he get a zone or not? Potentially something like a Cerberus, because obviously 3. Also, here's a big thing. When Zoro and Luffy first met Blackbeard in Mocktown, they were very weary of him. Nami said him, referring to Blackbeard as him, and Luffy and Zoro both said not he, they. This could be referring to Blackbeard's crew also hiding around, but many people feel that maybe it is because there are multiple personalities or people inside Blackbeard. He could be like conjoined triplets, for example, which is how each of them is able to have a devil fruit power, which explains how he can have multiple devil fruits. So that is our first theory. It's a very, very popular one amongst the One Piece community.
You're right. I've heard this theory a lot of times, and I think I've actually talked to you this before about Sam. About
We
this.
have texted about this before.
We have
messaged,
and I've always been a firm denier of this. I've never been a fan of this theory, only because like the whole like One Piece Blackbeard, where Zoro and Luffy say, "Oh, it's not him, they." I always believe that he's been talking about his crew there. The whole 3 devil fruits thing. I mean, it could be a thing, but right now I also believe that Blackbeard, through his means of like using the dark fruit, was able to absorb Whitebeard's power from that, and that is an additional ability of his fruit. However, likewise, how he's able to maneuver fruits between other people as well. For example, how Katarina Devon ends up having. Well, he has a copy fruit.
She has a Zoan. She is the Kitsune.
She's the Kitsune. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then she has. But he took the clear fruit from Absalom and gave it to Rain.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, Shiryu. In it, yeah.
Shiryu, yeah.
So I think it's through Blackbeard's dark fruit that he's able to take people's fruit powers and move them into other people, including himself. So I can see there being a 3rd devil fruit. I can understand where that would come from. But due to the whole personality thing, people have been speculating this for a while. And for me, I can't get on board with it. I'm not a massive fan of that thing.
Sorry, you get.
I was going to say, I think he will have a 3rd devil fruit because it's the whole idea of it's a culmination of all the different devil fruits in one body. But I again think that it's probably from the dark fruit, not from this whole. He's got 3 people. They're definitely talking about the crew because you were introduced to each part of Blackbeard's crew before they meet Blackbeard as well. So
and
I
it's
think
just the
literally
whole
they're just like
hacky. Noticing that
I don't even think it's observation
just,
hacky like that. I think it's just they seem like they would be together in the way that they act. Plus my whole thing with the threes came in when he became. I mean, he had the 3 skulls on the flag, but I correct me if I'm wrong, but in his introduction, I think he only has the 1 gun in his
potentially.
belt.
Actually,
I think that only got added later. And he also didn't have like his big beard at that point.
That's true. So I think the 3 ties more came in when he became an emperor.
Yeah, and I think that's when the 3 guns may have come in, and then maybe that 3 is what's moving across, and that's something that.
Can I quickly say as well, just because I'm saying these theories does not necessarily mean I also believe them. Just so the audience.
Sam believes every single one.
Everything I read, I'm just like, yep, that's absolutely right.
Yeah. We're not just going to be dogpiling on Sam saying, no, you're wrong here.
Sam's like, here's one theory, and here's the inverse of that theory, and I believe both of them.
Yeah. Exactly. I think, like, as well, like, the whole ties in Blackbeard's beard, for example, are kind of based off of like original Edward Teach's design as well.
Well, it's like actual Blackbeard had like the little ties as well. I think the 3 is just like coincidental. I think it's just people trying to read into things.
Yeah.
But whilst the 3 devil fruit thing kind of makes sense, from the way I see it is, why would he not just take all the devil fruit? Why stop at 3 if he can take and move powers, right? If he's like a Peter Petrelli or a Sylar type, why stop? Just take them all.
I think the other thing on that,
take what he wants and what he needs.
The other thing on that, though, we've seen him move Paramecia. We've not seen him move any other type.
But that doesn't mean he can't. He just hasn't done it yet.
Well, that's what I mean, though. Surely, if you're gonna seal fruits, I hate to say most people would steal Logias, wouldn't they? Because Logias are meant to be the top fruit. I know they're not with Haki involved and stuff like that,
I'm
but
trying to think of what fruits he's gone after. So he's gone after Hancock's fruit, hasn't he?
I think he didn't get it in the end.
He didn't
No,
get it.
well,
because
Kobe
Rhaenys-
gave himself up instead,
Yes.
Yeah.
didn't he?
I'm trying to think what other fruits he went after. That's all.
He got the click that I think he's probably got the shadow fruit.
I reckon so
from
as well.
Moria
yeah.
because of that. The island fruit is one that he has passed across to someone because what's he called? The not Dark King, because that's really, but the Tyrant King. I can never remember the name of his actual
Oh, Pizarria.
character. Yeah, he
Yeah,
didn't have
yeah.
a devil fruit originally. The giant wolf, he did because he had the giant fruit, hence why he's so big, even for a giant. As far as Katarina Devon already had hers.
Did she?
Yeah.
I didn't know
That's
I didn't know
shown.
about that.
I'm pretty sure she had that previously. I think there's a whole thing about it. I feel like it was in something. I could be completely wrong, and if I am, hands up. I think the only ones that he's moved across for certain, because we don't know. Does Bosco
Vasco Shot.
Vasco Shot? Does he have one? Did he
has-
have one in the newest one?
Yeah, he has the liquor fruit, doesn't he? So he has the power of alcohol, which lets him use fire, breathing, stuff like that. Like basically anything that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can float
Right.
on bubbles for some reason as well, which is a thing. It's a
it's
very
weird to say,
powerful
but
fruit. Yeah.
The newest chapters are not the ones that are deepest in my mind.
Yeah. there's
Fruits.
been a lot of breaks as well, so yeah, I can understand. But yeah, going back to Blackbeard, no, I'm dubious of this theory. You're right. This has been like hovering around for a while, but I don't know. On a scale of is it possible? Is it like nah, I don't think so. I don't think this is
Yeah, I think it's
plausible.
it would be a hard thing to explain, and it would just be a bit lost on a lot of people as well. I think it's just like, oh, what a fun reveal! By the way, Blackbeard is 3 people. Like he had 3 powers, and yeah, it's a weird theory. But
yeah.
I think it's
I
just
don't know,
a
this
benefit of the Yami
Sorry.
Yami no Mi. That's all. Go on.
Yeah.
mate.
I was just gonna say, just this theory feels like it's going off of almost going in a Kingdom Hearts kind of route. Like, oh, it's every single member of Organization 13's got an X in their name. He tracks them from X's. Oh, and it's all him from the past and future. Like, it's that kind of bullshit. I don't think it's like.
Kingdom Hearts is a
don't-
door and a moon and also a moon.
Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, it's the 3s. Who's got all the 3s, and he tracks you all through 3s. Like, fuck off. Shut up.
Oh no,
Talking
no more leak
nonsense.
speak.
Sound okay. Like so.
What's your feeling on it, by the way? Yeah, Sam.
Sam? What's your feeling?
Sam agreed with it. He already said that.
I'm unsure. I don't think it's. I think maybe he might get a 3rd devil fruit because it's the 3 is very prominent now that we're in the time skip New World kind of era. And I do like the idea of him getting his own as well. I think it would be fitting if indeed 3 is a theme that Oda is going for, but the whole he could be conjoined triplets or he's got other personalities and things inside him. I just think that's Teach. Like, yes, he's cowardly at times. Yes, he's brave at others, but it's all circumstantial. It's all dependent on what's currently going on. So I don't think it's just him like flicking personalities here and there. He doesn't have. Yeah, I like the theme of 3. I can see the theme of 3 being slightly a bit more prominent later on, maybe, but I don't think he's multiple people and that kind of thing.
Actually,
agree.
just on you saying something there, thinking about it with the whole thing of 3, technically with Luffy being a Zoan user, would he not be the 3rd devil fruit there in the fight between the 2 of them? Looking at 3s and stuff like that could be possible as well.
True.
In the sense that, because Paramecia, is Paramecia meant to be the weakest though, isn't it? Is what they always say out of the 3.
It's
Unless
strange.
it's
This is
awakened, I guess.
Skypiea.
It's a strange.
This is
thing.
Skypiea stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't know if I fully trust NL, to be honest about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
The guy with like the best power in One Piece that got beaten by Luffy before time skip. Yeah.
Yeah. I completely have no clue on like where that'd go in terms of third devil fruit. I think if he, I can't even imagine what devil fruit would go for. To be fair, like, I always thought right that like he'd be after Brooke's power just because Brooke has an additional life, and if he wants to steal,
yeah, that does make
like,
sense.
It
would
okay,
make
cool.
sense, and it would be very sad. I hope Brooke is never
And
like.
I
the one to
literally
die
like Brooke
from the
is
Straw Hat crew.
Brooke is one of my favorite characters in the Straw Hat crew, and like seeing him like die. I mean, that's always a question as well. Will a member of the Straw Hats die by the end of the series? And that could be Luffy's like pushed over the edge moment, where like you literally took one of my crew from me forever. That is like the worst thing you can do. So arguably, I don't know whether it will go down that area. You know, One Piece is like no one really dies apart from those two dudes in Marineford.
Sounds like let me just take out this one that I was going to talk about later.
Yeah. But yeah, shall we move on to the next theory? Because I feel like we've spent a lot of time on.
So this next theory, I wouldn't say it's a proper theory per se. It's just more of a very nice observation, but it's nice to get your thoughts on it. So, each Yonko has their 3 main commanders, and they each have their own theme. Kaido and his calamities, Big Mom and her sweet generals. So, speaking of Luffy, who is now an emperor, now a Yonko, from SBS Volume 105, we learnt that Zoro's mother's name is Terra, which is another name for Earth. Sanji's mother is Sora, which is another word for sky. So we already know that Jinbei is known as the son of the sea, and we can now say that Zoro is the son of the earth, Sanji is the son of the sky, so Luffy's theme is that he is the sun god, and he has 3 suns, earth, sky, and water. Or sea.
I think I've heard that theory, but I've heard it as knights more, because Jinbei is the knight of the sea, that's what he's called throughout all of it. So it'd be him at the top, but yeah, the 3 knights. I think that is quite probable. As like if he does get a 3 commander thing, then yeah.
I agree, yeah. Like with the whole commander things, I feel like it feels about right. Like I don't think he'll ever be explicitly put like that in the series. Like like
maybe in an SBS.
Yeah, maybe it'll be confirmed like that, but I don't think Luffy's ever gonna name his commanders like that. But I do love I do love the theming of it though. The fact that it is the sea, the sun, the sky, and the earth. And obviously, yeah, Nika being Nika, like it just works, and I could see it happening. I approve this. Yeah.
Well, they're pretty much his like 3 heaviest hitters now, aren't they? So
the monster trio, not including the captain now, basically. Is those 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've got some epic Jinbei fights to come.
Hopefully,
even Wano was pretty good. Like he showed that he's not just. He's out of the 3 of them. He's the most tactical now, because Sanji used to be really tactical about stuff, but he's not so much anymore.
Honestly, one of my favorite scenes of or chapters of recent times is Jinbei standing up to Big Mom and saying, "No, I'm joining the Straw Hats." It's so poignant. It's so good.
Yeah, that's very good.
Leave or is it life or leave or something like that?
Yeah,
says.
So I give you a life or you leave that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, no. I mean, again, yeah, it's not so much a theory, more of a like a thing that could happen.
Yeah.
A
nice observation. Well, I'll tell you now. Number 4 is very, very long, but number 3. We'll move on to the third one, and I will say beforehand, I love this theory.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say I think it is definite, but it makes. If it's true, it makes a lot of sense. Okay. So it's a theory on Chopper, our favourite Tony Chopper.
Wow.
So we all know that Oda's a big fan of mythology and that kind of thing, and he always plays it in to a lot of different things. So this theory is that Chopper is the mentioned from Skypiea god of the forest. So he ate the Hito no Mi model Seronis, or something similar. So we all know that Oda loves mythology and uses it a lot in his writing. In Celtic mythology, the forest god had antlers and was doctor to all the wild animals. In Greek mythology, reindeers are the sun's greatest life due to their fur's warmth. Chopper became a doctor and learned to make medicine. In the Celtic mythology again, the forest god is known as the reviver of the sun. Chopper could be the forest god and the one predestined to save Luffy, the sun god, after his fall in a future upcoming war. I love that theory.
I mean, yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
a
it
thing.
makes sense.
It
yeah.
tracks,
It
but
also
I think
like
it's one that's probably been added afterwards because they never said what model Chopper's Hitonomi was, or
no, we just know that it's like
No.
the
it
human
literally they've
fruit.
just and if it
you
has
could-
been said, it could have been added in later. And I get the whole thing of that Cyrannus from Celtic to mythology. Yeah, I get the combination with that.
I mean, this is one thing. Yeah, it's definitely been added in later because think about it as well. I don't think Oda ever set out to create Luffy as a sun god. I think the fact that he got that far, I think he was always planned to be a rubber man.
Agreed.
But like I don't think he ever like set out to be this human Nika thing. I don't think that ever happened. And then to bring in Chopper as well, who I think is literally just like he's just a deer with human abilities. I don't
Fair.
think that he's ever thought of it like that. However, the theory of him like that playing into it a bit, I'm not against that. I think that works.
Yes.
I don't think I think it's one of those ones that it probably has some merit to it, but I don't think it is thought of that far in advance. Like I don't think it's
I mean, think of it like the supernovas in the fact that they were made in like a week.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
something
When
that's
we
just
decided it would
added
be
in
cool.
because they were like, oh, that'd be cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be a cool idea.
yeah.
Well, you've got to think though that in Skypiea, obviously we had the mentioned sun god, which we now know as Luffy. There was also a mentioned forest god and a rain god. So it does stand to reason that if there is a model sun god devil fruit, there would be a forest god and a rain god one. I'm not going to get into, and don't worry, the whole dragon being rain god theory is not in my list of theories. Even though potentially, maybe, who knows. But, you know, it does stand to reason that if we have now had the sun god, that the forest god and the rain god could come into it at some point. I'm not saying that's Chopper, but it could come into it.
I mean, like everything you've said is sort of it does make sense. If he is, from mythology and everything, all the theming seems right, and he is the crew doctor, so that's kind of the only point where I'm like, oh, he's gonna save him from. He would save him regardless, even if he wasn't the forest god. That's what he's supposed to
He loves
do
Luffy.
as a doctor. But like, I mean, I kind of agree with it. It doesn't seem that improbable.
I think
Was it all planned out beforehand? Maybe not. But
No, I think
Well,
Oda's
wasn't-
gone on record, like in SBS's, that he has made a lot of it was just not pre-planned at all, and he's just kind of
Yeah.
gone along with what's happened in the story.
wasn't
Yeah.
the forest god just the giant snake? I thought that was meant to be the forest god that they had in like Skypiea. I know it got absolutely devastated twice. And during Skypiea, the remaining one got absolutely devastated as well. But I thought that was meant to be seen as their jungle god. Like that's why the snake was their god.
Possibly.
So I don't know if I agree fully with that. I mean, like Nathan said, Chopper's gonna save him no matter what because he's the doctor.
Saying that though, like it would mean that Chopper. It sounds like Chopper would get a buff from there. And realistically, any of the Straw Hats getting buffs right now, I'd greatly appreciate.
It's true.
Yeah, like I'd say Chopper's one of those ones where, like in the whole 1-0 arc, did he contribute a whole lot? Yes, he saved a bunch of people from that fucking was it Queen's like toxin or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he did put a lot of work in. To be fair, I'm not going to shit on him for that. But like, I feel like some of the Straw Hats do need like their time to actually grow a bit more as well.
Yeah, you got the last thing that I can think of that was like monumental for the they have another name for it, but like the Cowardly Trio, like Nami, Chopper, and Usopp, was Usopp in Dressrosa getting his observation haki down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's like that's the last boost, and even then they've done nothing with it.
Well, Nami has now fully acquired Zeus, so
Yeah.
that is something.
I mean, does Usopp have the observation now from film Red? Was that not confirmed?
Yeah,
is
but
it-
I don't know if that is like
Is that canon?
Is that canon? But at
Well,
the same time,
It's Oda
think-
kind of.
yeah.
I mean, obviously, events in it might not be so canon, but if I feel like if Usopp's doing it, like I feel
if Usopp can master it and can make that kind of shot like consistently,
Yeah.
he'd be insane. He'd be a force.
yeah.
Well,
I
it's probably
mean-
the same as his father Yasop, isn't it? Because he's like apparently never missed a shot.
I
kind of
cannot
thing
wait
was-
for a fight
it's
between
his-
them. But I haven't got it written down, but I will tell you this one fun last theory at the very end, which I don't have written down, but it's hilarious.
Yasop and Usopp aren't actually related.
Could you imagine? It's like, yeah,
this is my
I
dad.
just found you. Yeah.
It's Burgess. Burgess is my father.
It's just some dude. It's like, just believe that. And that'd be a mad lie, you know, the fact that like Usopp's believed his whole. Someone's told him that Yasop's his dad. Because and even in the past ones, have you seen them interact?
No.
No.
Not really.
So
because Shanks' crew, the Straw Hats have never met the
but then
red
Yasop
hair
says
pirates. So.
Yasop does say to Luffy that he has a son called Usopp. So
about his age, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but
I was about to say like, wait, has someone told Usopp that Yasop's his dad? That's not the actual thing. No, okay, fair.
I feel like he definitely knew in Film Red that Yasop's his dad, though.
Oh, no, he does know. He 100% knows. But like, I just it was one of those ones where like,
I'll take some hate and say I've still not seen Film Red yet.
Oh, I haven't either. So
oh, cool.
you're fine.
That's fine. Then.
It's just One Piece musical, so you know it's good
two
fun.
of my favorite things combined. So
yeah. Right, should we move on? Because this one is a big one, but I also quite like it. So I might be talking for like 5 minutes here, but let's go.
Okay, yeah.
Not quite 5 minutes. Don't worry. Okay, so Oda has been hiding where the One Piece is in front of us all along. One of the most insignificant arcs, Long Ring Longland. This arc gave us nothing, and it seemed Oda was just trying to have some fun, but that's actually not the case. In one panel, the old man Tonjit explains that the reason everything is stretched out is because everyone who lives there feels free, which sounds similar to Luffy's true powers. And remember, when Logia fruits awaken, they can change entire environments. Luffy's fruit, whilst not a Logia, seems to be a very special one, so maybe it could do similar things, as we know Luffy can affect the environment temporarily. Tanjit also says long time no see to Luffy, implying he is Joy Boy, and he hasn't seen him for 800 years. When you take into account the structure of the island itself, it almost looks as if it's completely hidden away from the world. Its structure is made of about 10 points that are all connected under the water, which is why most of the land is just plains. We also know, when you are on the island, a log pose will only point you to one of the 10 points before directing you away to somewhere else entirely. We also know that once every year during Aqua Laguna, the island becomes a full crown shape again, which allows the villagers to travel to another point on foot. And who wears a crown? Kings. Pirate King? So it could well be that Laughtail is inside the crown and is only accessible during low tide or once every year during Aqua Laguna. So you would need to go there one specific day in the year, and because the log pose doesn't work, you would need a map with directions. You would need to arrive in advance, as once the tide lowers, access to the interior of the crown would be blocked. At that stage, walls would be present, preventing any form of entry. It would be the best place to hide a treasure.
Wow.
No.
That is
no. No, that's a massive leap.
It is a bit of a leap. It is a bit of a leap.
I think there's a lot of things in there which, like, for example, the long time no see thing is definitely Oda having fun with the suit. It was at that point where you still had like a lot of like One Piece's.
It was a gag manga at that point. Still.
Yeah.
Hence Foxy.
It's a gag. It's a gag arc, that one.
Everything's long
Yeah.
time no see. Yeah.
I do kind of like the idea of it, but that is a lot to just for a throwaway reference to an island. Like if. Okay, look, so say the crew get to Laughtail, right? And they're like, oh, okay, finally got there. And it says, head back to Long Ring Longland. I'd be
You're
like,
a Joy Boy, go that way.
Why? I would be.
That's also in the first half of the Grand Line.
Yeah, so they'd have to travel back. It's the thing. It'd be a long way round.
Also, Aqua Laguna isn't there. Aqua Laguna's at Water 7. That's the massive tidal wave at Water 7.
It depends on how far away they are from each other in some ways, because could it affect it? Maybe.
I think it was mentioned, which is why. Agua Laguna was mentioned as to when the tide goes low, which is why they can then walk across to the next point.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not every year though either. Though that's the thing. It wasn't every year. It's like every 10 years, technically.
Well, there you go.
Was
Even
the thing
harder to get
that's
Oh yeah, because that is a very good point.
because the only reason that he will take less time is because Aokiji froze the water for him to travel across the first time
yeah,
to get across to the next island sooner than he would have to.
yeah. I mean, I love the idea behind it. I think it's a very imaginative idea. It's very very thought out. However, does it have the legs?
agreed.
Nah, I can't say that. If it
Yeah,
did,
I thought
I
it was a
would be
fun one.
I'd be absolutely gobsmacked if that actually happened.
If that was a true theory, like not just a true theory, but if that was the truth, that would be a long stretch.
You gotta think if Oda ever sees or reads any of these, and he's just like, "Shit, gotta change my plans."
Yeah,
I think he does
See-
sometimes, yeah.
I operate under my own theory that yes, Oda has hid the treasure all along, but it's going to be the shit bait and switch. It's the friends and the journey along the way.
You don't know how
That's why
angry I am right now that if that happens,
mean,
I'd be.
You say that though, but
fuming.
we have had that scene though where literally Roger's there and he goes, "We're here too early. This isn't for us." He does actually say that. So
That means he didn't make enough friends along the way.
yeah, but they've already said and they've shown that because just reading Marineford again, the whole thing of like he would take a like like the whole thing of, like Ace won't turn his back on a fight. Neither would Roger because it would mean if his friends get hurt. And
Yeah.
to me, that's the guy that made friends along the way.
So on that
But
though,
see,
on that,
I'm just saying, it's
Mhm.
just a stupid theory of mine.
on that though, Matt, another kind of theory. Again, I haven't written it down, but there is a theory that the reason why Roger said that is because the One Piece is in fact the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika, and he got there after Joy Boy did, and he then found the fruit and was like, "Well, I'm not Joy Boy, so this isn't for me," and it was all waiting all along for Luffy.
But then you're saying that Shanks
then-
hasn't been back to Laugh
yeah,
Tale
exactly.
since.
Shanks is also
So he would have had to stolen it from Laugh
Yeah,
Tale,
I know.
taking it all the way back to East
I
Blue,
know. It's just another theory, but
just to go back there.
yeah.
It's also that Shanks even says, like in the later chapters, that like, it's time for us to claim the One Piece.
Yeah,
as
literally.
well. Which
Just
would
nabs
be
Luffy, just steals Luffy. It's like, we've won.
He could have done that. He could have done that at the start of the series in
He just
chapter 1.
kidnaps Luffy, holds him like Simba.
Yeah.
The One
I
Piece.
the One Piece. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy
So,
theory,
yeah.
I know.
Okay, yeah. Well, okay. I think I don't think any of us really agree that that's a
No,
I
not
think-
at all.
No,
okay,
that's.
cool.
I think that's based.
Based from. Right. Okay. Cool.
So
Give
this
us the next one, sir.
Yeah, this next one is I couldn't do this without talking about this theory, and I'm just waiting to see Pepe's reaction to it as well.
Oh,
But
fucking
let's
okay.
talk
Oh,
about.
I'll look at that video.
Let's all talk about CrocMom. Yes, that is the reaction I wanted, Pepe. So
No,
Mom.
no,
Here
it
is this
doesn't.
theory.
It doesn't work. Stop trying to push this on people. It's just no. Like okay. Before you even get into this, the idea of CrocMom is absurd.
it
I
is. It's
understand.
absurd.
I can understand partially maybe like Crocodile was originally a woman. That's fine. I can appreciate it. However, the CrocMom thing, no. But carry on. I won't
Yes.
go too.
So,
but yeah.
this is. I'm scared to read the next four words.
This is like
to be
my
honest
favorite
with you.
theory
No,
that
here we
definitely
go.
isn't
God,
real, but I
Here we
love
go,
it.
everyone. Drum roll, please. Crocodile is Luffy's mother. Pretty bizarre, but as I say, we can't not touch on it. During his meeting with Ivankov, Crocodile is blackmailed with certain information Ivankov possesses about him. Many believe that Iva used his gender-changing hormone powers to turn Lady Croc into a Sir. From an SBS from Oda as well, Crocodile is the only one of the warlords that looks completely androgynous as a kid. So Croc could be a woman, but could he be Luffy's mother? Well, Dragon's full name and familial ties to Luffy were huge secrets, even to close associates like Ivankov. Most notably, proponents of the theory point to Crocodile's huge shift in attitude during Marineford, since he helps to protect Luffy on multiple occasions after the world learns of Luffy and Dragon's connection. Matt, you've most recently read Marineford, so lead the way on this.
So I love the theory. It's 100% can't be true. I'm sorry to say it, but
it's ridiculous, isn't it?
It is. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's hilarious, the idea that because Ivankov and him may have met for any reason, but Oda also did do a drawing of all the seven warlords as women anyway during an SBS as well.
He did. That is true.
Yeah,
he
so
did flip genders.
That has been done, but no, it's just I get the whole thing of all of a sudden he decides not to go for Whitebeard's head, and he helps Luffy. And in fairness, yeah, but the whole idea of, I think the way that they've really shown it nowadays as well is, in that arc, his power to draw other people to his side and to aid him is part of the Sun God Nika power. Basically, is the ability to get people on your side. It shows firstly that you have the option of Conqueror's Haki, which we find out later in Marineford that he has. But I think that's what it is. It's more a case of, the ability to get people on side that were originally enemies. Because I just don't. I think it's a hilarious idea.
Like this
CrocMom, but
this is the one thing, that whole idea that Crocodile suddenly switches sides. Yeah, it's like, realistically, if Crocodile continuously decides to pick a fight with Whitebeard, not only is he gonna have to deal with Luffy and his side the whole time, he's also got to deal with Whitebeard's crew, who's also attacking Crocodile, and then you'd also have the Marines who are also attacking Crocodile. If he decided, fuck them all, I'm gonna continue going for Whitebeard, it'd be ridiculous. He's like picking a one-man fight, not just against both sides, like every single side he can imagine are going for him. It'd be ridiculous to pick a fight with Whitebeard.
At that point, Crocodile's crew is him and Daz Bones.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Even Daz Bones is probably in the back like, nah, fam, this ain't it.
Like, he's like, I'm gonna go for Whitebeard, and Daz goes, I'll stand over here and watch, but it's not gonna go well.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what Daz Bones ended up doing in Marineford. When did you actually see him
he gets cut down by Mihawk, I think.
Does
he takes a hit from Mihawk. Okay. He definitely takes a hit from someone with a sword and actually bleeds, and that's why he's out of commission in it. It's like one panel. Seriously, it's one panel that you see him get taken out in.
I mean, let's face it. If you're gonna be focusing on anyone Marineford, it ain't gonna be fucking Daz Bones. Let's be honest. But yeah, no, the idea that I like the Blackbeard theory with the free stuff. Like, it's absurd. The idea that Crocodile is Luffy's mum is the most ridiculous theory. I think it's at this point, it's kind of a meme at this point that everyone's saying, oh, it's his mum, because it is so ridiculous and so implausible. The fact, okay, let's put it this way. So if Crocodile was Luffy's mum, for one, so Luffy arrives in Alabasta and Crocodile like instantly sees him or whatever, picks a fight with him, pretty much leaves him for dead in the sand, there's no cogs turning like, oh wait, that's my son there. Do I have any, like, even if he is a stone cold killer, like, Oda probably would have revealed at some point that yes, okay, there is a connection between them. There's no connection there. Like,
it's like the same thing where people go, Teach and Luffy are probably brothers. That kind of tenuous link of
God, yeah, it's like that kind of shit. Oh, it just doesn't check out whatsoever. Anything about it, like even when he sees him again in Impel Down, like why, like again the continuous name of calling him Straw Hat rather than Luffy. That's a minor thing, but like it just doesn't check out whatsoever. Like the idea of it is, if it ends up happening, I don't know what.
Can I ask, had you ever heard it before, Nathan? Because your face, you look very interested in it at first.
I've never heard this.
Okay.
And in all honesty, I want it to be real.
Oh, for fuck's sake,
it's the best theory I've ever heard. It's the funniest thing I've ever heard. And just to get at Pepe, it has to be true. It has to be. I don't care. Crocodile's the best fucking actor I've ever seen. Because it's pretending, okay? Just always pretending until that moment, that Star Wars moment, that perfect, I am your mother.
Right.
Do you want to know what
Done.
it is? It's
Mic drop,
how
done.
did you survive every time I killed you? Oh no! Oh
I
wow!
did it to make you stronger, son. That's what that is. I love it.
But like, what would be the purpose?
10 out of 10.
That-
Most appropriate.
That which
theory
doesn't
I've
kill
ever
you
heard.
is your mother.
I know that Nathan's whole like input into this whole conversation is completely void because he just wants to see me pissed off. I can see his face there. Like none of y'all can see his face, but I see it. It's right there. He's like fucking laughing.
Is this viewable?
Yeah, fucking. That's gonna be included in the episode. That is no. It's
Real.
No, it's not real. It's
100%
not
real.
real.
That's from the SBS.
You shut up,
that
you.
is what
You shut up.
he
you.
drew
That was
female
real.
crocodile to
the
look
only
like in the
credible
SBS.
thing here, not the CrocMom thing, but Ivan
But that was the best part.
could have changed his gender without everyone knowing. That
I'm
could be
completely-
real.
Or he could have done anything to him without us knowing. It's Ivankov. He has.
It's true. Maybe he's got ties to the Revolutionary Army, which he doesn't want revealed, which is why he also helped out when he heard about the whole
See,
thing with
I'm
Dragon.
telling you,
I don't know. Who knows?
Crocodile best actor.
Best actor Croc.
It is
Actress.
also worth saying as well. It is.
Hey, it's 2023. We're all inclusive. Actor. Okay?
It is also worth saying as well that in the flashbacks of like Roger's like execution, we did see a lot of. We saw Mihawk there. We saw Moria there as
Crocodile.
well, and Crocodile was there. However, we don't see the face. You literally see the back of the head. So you wouldn't. That's the one thing that is like.
CrocMom sporting that bob cut.
I don't.
Croc,
With it's-
Croc
Sixty
Mum
no,
everywhere,
no
bro.
croc mum, but I do agree with the possibility that Crocodile could have been a woman. I'll agree
Croc
to.
Mum everywhere, bro.
Okay, I'm ignoring the croc mum. I'm erasing one word from my head. And it's fucking croc mum.
CrocMom.
Croc Mum, she be everywhere. She looking out. She
I
be
cannot wait to see our like regular chat after this. I feel like there's just gonna be so many pictures of it.
Fuming.
Right, Sam, move on to get this fucking idea out the way.
Alright, so we've got two more, and then my fun third one at the end, which I haven't written
Okay,
down,
so-
but I'll just tell you. Okay.
Okay.
So now we have a Shanks theory, everyone.
Okay.
Shanks is Emu's
It's
child.
Luffy's mum.
We all know Shanks has a strange amount of influence and respect in One Piece. He was able to end the Marineford War by merely showing up, and the Marines who are technically his enemies allowed him to bury Whitebeard and Ace. In addition, Shanks was able to secure a meeting with the Five Elders, a privilege which very few have. If Shanks is Emu's son, it could explain why he has so much influence and respect, as he may be viewed as royalty within the world government. We know very little about Shanks' past before he joined Roger's crew as an apprentice. This lack of information leaves room for the possibility that he may have a significant heritage, such as being the child of the world's most powerful figure. Shanks also seems to be interested in maintaining a balance of power in the world. He stopped Kaido from interfering in the Marineford War, and later ended the war himself. If Shanks is Emu's son, he may be privy to information about the world's true history and the potential catastrophe that could happen if the world's balance is disrupted. Discuss.
Right.
Interesting.
My thoughts on this straight away are that we have information now that the underneath the Five Elders, there's the Holy Knights,
Uh-huh.
I believe they're called.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, so and part of those Holy Knights is I forgot his name, the
The
present
judge,
head
St.
dude.
Gall in Finland.
Yeah.
Who is actually related to Shanks somehow because the name is it Figerland? Like that is also part of Shanks's heritage. So Shanks is actually tied to him already, which is why I feel like there's some sort of connection between Shanks and the Holy Knights. I reckon that is plausible. However, being Imu's son, I'm not so sure.
Yes, I
thought-
agree.
I do agree that probably not a son, but I thought that so where he was from, the Crescent Head guy,
Yeah,
I thought that was where Shanks was born. That's like the tenuous link between them.
it might be that actually. Yeah,
I
sorry,
think
it
that's
might
the
be,
tenuous link, is that's where he's actually from, Shanks. I'd have to reread like the
Yeah.
last 20 chapters to make sure.
I think yeah, it is.
Um,
Yeah, you're right there. Yeah,
but
I've been-
I think, obviously, as a show of respect in some ways as well, I mean, he fought Kaido and the very next day was at Marineford. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Fair
that shows how
play to-
strong he
yeah,
is.
Yeah,
And that kind of thing. I think it's just that it's fair enough fighting one Yonko, but 2 Yonkos, and let's be honest, 90% of the, not 90%, but like say 50% of the Marines were already down. You even got Kobe shouting to people to stop. Do you know what I mean? I think it was just a case, and then it was the reason that Whitebeard and Ace's bodies were allowed to be taken by Shanks was purely because of Fleet Admiral Sengoku, who was just like, okay, yeah, you take them. We'll save face in this way. Is kind of what he was saying, and that's why him and Garp stepped not down but backwards, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Into half retirement kind of thing. To kind of alleviate that. So I do agree. I don't think he's Emo's mum. The only thing I've ever wondered is I don't think he's Emo's mum. The only thing I've ever wondered is when he does get that meeting with the 5, and he says, "Watch out for this one pirate." I wonder which pirate it is, because I don't think it's Luffy. I actually think it's Buggy.
I agree.
Because not long after is when Buggy gets called out on the ship during going from Impel down to Marineford that he was part of Roger's crew.
Yeah, I mean, arguably, I don't think it's because the jokey way everyone says it, the fact that Buggy's gonna have like.
Hey, he's Buggy D Clown. He's got the D.
He's got the D. Dear God. I can kind of understand in some ways it could have been him, because obviously Buggy's got a reputation now, especially with the Cross Guild. Like,
he's clearly in charge of.
But he's the one that actually made it all happen in some ways. Like, arguably, it's like in the loosest sense. But like again, he's announced that he's in the running for the One Piece, and he's got a ridiculous amount of followers now.
Speaking
but CrocMom wouldn't attack Luffy, so he's lost one of his followers already.
Speaking of Buggy,
yeah, that's true. Even if Buggy is best,
I firmly believe that Buggy is going to be king of the pirates for all of 5 minutes before Luffy does. Somehow he will get the One Piece because he has just fallen up and up and up and up and up. Yeah. Somehow he will be king of the pirates, his crew will rejoice, and then Luffy will kind of like take it off him.
I think one of my favorite mini fan theories. I think one of my favorite mini fan theories is with the Cross Guild, is that it was actually created by Mihawk and Crocodile. Obviously, Buggy's there, but it was Buggy's underlings that did the design for their group, and that's why Buggy's so center stage on it.
Yeah,
so everyone thinks it's his. I think that's their fault.
Yeah,
and that's like one of my favorite little fan theories. It's just like because they do. He's like the main thing he is able to get people on his side. Funnily enough, get people on his side as well as that is actually for Buggy.
Can we also just mention how if Buggy ever awakens his fruit, how insanely OP he would be?
Oh, he would split the entire planet.
He would essentially be like the op fruit, but without a room. You could just cut whatever he wants up and cut whoever he wants up. It would be insane.
It would be like he would become the world's greatest swordsman.
That's why I keep saying Buggy is the true main character of One Piece.
What we were saying earlier, the fact. Ignoring that. The fact that we do have what you mentioned earlier, that Buggy becomes Pirate King for a brief moment, and Luffy takes it off him. I actually feel what could happen is, like in some ways, yes, Luffy becomes Pirate King, but then Buggy also like takes the glory in some, kind of like a Cell Hercule kind of thing. That's how I could kind of see it happening in some ways. And the fact that,
because Luffy isn't about being notorious either. No, he's about
but
that.
He does want to be king of the pirates.
But he only wants to become king of the pirates because of his dream,
which I think is
just to be the freest person in the world. I think that's what it is.
I just think it's to throw the world's largest party.
I think it's got to be. It's the fact that everyone's like reaction, all his crew's reaction to it as well. It's just like, what, you're crazy, blah blah blah. It's like, so it could be. I think the moment he gets his dream, I don't think he cares whether he's king of the pirates or not.
True.
I think he just wants. He's just using king of the pirates because he wants to.
It's the only way he will get his dream. Yeah.
Which means that if he gets his dream, he's like, well, I don't care about king of the pirates. You can have it. Buggy becomes king of the pirates, and then everyone's like, "Oh, Buggy's there." And it's just like,
Buggy there.
I can't believe you guys are disrespecting Buggy like this.
Can I just ask, just as a tiny side with just your own theories of what Luffy's actual dream is?
I honestly have no clue. I think the closest thing is just to be free and have like what? I don't think he has any like, I don't know, like desire to know world history or anything like that. He just wants food. Realistically, it could, as far as we know, it could just be to eat all the meat in the world. Like,
But to that
To
point,
give everyone free
to
meat.
be the freest person, would you not think that by being Joy Boy, the sun god, he's already achieved that goal of being the freest person? He
Yeah.
can do literally anything now, right? He'd even become like
He's rubber hose
almost
animation.
a comedy. Yeah, he's literally like a comedy character, a cartoon within a cartoon, right? With that kind of ability, is that not as free as you can get? To defy physics and logic in any way, is that not as free as you can get?
I think so. I think it's just obviously he sees the Marines as a threat, and the fact that he can't travel as much as that. Maybe that's where the additional comes in. I can see what you mean with it, but like there's still barriers to entry of what he wants, and plus he wants an adventure as well. He loves an adventure.
Can I
So-
just say as well, like, this is, to me, this is 100% it for Luffy's crew now. Like, the fact that he's told them all his dream, it's not going to suddenly be, oh, Yamato joins and he's like, hi, Yamato, this is my dream. It's not.
No.
The fact that
No,
was
yeah.
such, the fact that was such a poignant moment between his 9 crew members plus him, like, that's it for his crew now. Like, his
I completely
main crew.
agree.
Yamato
Yeah.
might
People-
join the Grand Fleet with the entirety of Wano and what's his face, little kid who's no longer a little kid at his back.
Yeah,
But she's not
the only
gonna
other
be,
person.
or he's
yeah,
sorry,
the only-
he's not going to be anything like in the crew.
The thing is, though, with that, and I just had to look it up, he does say in one of the very first chapters he wants 10 companions.
I've always thought that as well. He's always said
Yeah,
10
I've
He's always
companions.
said 10 companions. So the thing is, you wouldn't say I want 10 companions and include yourself in that.
True.
But my one thing with that is, of course, Vivi was also meant to join the crew back then, but she was basically
and stuff is happening.
stuff has
right
happened
now,
where Vivi
so-
is
That is
basically.
possible. So Vivi
Yeah,
could join
Vivi is-
technically.
and
at this-
they've
They've always
they
said
have
she's
always said,
technically a
like-
Straw Hat already.
Yeah,
She's technically a Straw Hat, but they've always said that they would meet again at some point.
Mhm.
and with everything that happened at
And
the,
I would hold Vivi more likely to join the crew than Yamato. at
Now
this
that
point.
Cobra is dead, she will join the Straw Hats 100%.
Yeah, because there's nothing.
Or
tying
she
it
will
down.
officially-
also,
she
it
will
also would mean
officially
that
join
one
the
of
Straw
the
Hats.
it would also
Or-
mean that one of the official blood royals that created like Mary Short, all that, the Celestial Dragon, whatever it is, it would be part of his crew in some way, because that's not
Interesting.
been part of it as well. Because Cobras is the only one that like was part of creating the world government and stayed in Alabasta,
Yeah.
But then there's
and
also
it would mean that someone that helped create the world as it is now part of his crew.
Plus, we know
or,
they
like,
have the D now.
descendant wise.
Uh,
Vivi got that D.
Vivi got the D.
but it would also, if Vivi did join the Straw Hats again quite soon, it would also probably hold value to the fact that Lily may in fact be Imu as well, because then they have that connection as well. So there's that theory.
I do feel Lily and Emu might be connected in some way.
Yeah, there's something
Yeah,
there
there's
for
something.
sure. Because
whether they're the same person or whether they so clashed that it's the antithesis of Lily is my thought more, because
100%.
the will of D versus the world government.
well, like also because we don't know a whole lot about what was before a certain time.
Void Century.
For all we know, Emu could have just been some reprogrammed clone, some sort of, you know what I mean? Like it's a world where there's all sorts of technology that's gone missing or destroyed. There's powers beyond our imaginations. It could be that it's just a version of Lily or some shit's gone on for sure.
The only person
Yeah.
that knows about the Void Century that we know of and is still alive is Rayleigh.
Rayleigh,
He
and
said
what's
he
her
says
face?
during the Subody Archipelago, he goes, "Yeah, I know how." Like Robin
Crocus.
asks, Crocus may not have been on the ship at the time that they went to Laughter. He was only in there for the last 3 years
Okay, yeah, true. Yeah.
as the Doctor. So, and he was mainly focused on trying to find the Rumbar pirates, wasn't he? The crew that
Oh,
Brooke
of
was
course,
part
yeah.
of.
There was a fun other little theory, again, didn't write it down, which could tie into this, about Emu, is that he, she, they, let's just say they for now, is that they have the void fruit. So what we've actually seen of Emu isn't a silhouette, because the eyes are so pungent, so poignant, whatever you want to say, but that is actually them. because they've got the void sentry, this, that, the other, but the void fruit has just like essentially turned them into this like black nothingness other than the eyes.
I
would
know,
be
I think
Interesting.
I would be inclined to agree with it if we didn't have that chapter where the 5 elders turned into their
Oh yeah, and she turned it, but that could be her
Those
being like a
shadow
void
kind of things.
thingy. I
Yeah.
don't know,
I don't know. I feel
a creature of the void.
Yeah.
I think if anything, the only thing that I can think of with them is that I reckon the Opi Opi no Mi was used on them to give them eternal life or eternal youth. In that sense, because we know that it obviously they know that it can do that, because it's one of the few books, it's one of the few actual devil fruits that's in the Encyclopedia of Devil Fruits that says it can do that, because that's why everyone knows it can do that.
Yeah.
It's not a secret thing about it, so
True.
I think that might be a case, especially that would explain why they've lived for so long as well, by the sounds of it, and the age they supposedly are from when Cobra was shocked at the fact that they were alive or whatever.
Could be.
But I don't know if they have a devil fruit themselves.
I mean, there's a mini theory going around. I say mini theory, but there's also another little theory going around that Law will, of course, die. They wouldn't have just dropped this power of the Op fruit and the immortality surgery without Law then using it. So a lot of people are thinking, oh, Law's going to use it on Luffy because he trusts in Luffy so much and all of this. But I don't.
No, I don't like that theory.
No, I don't either.
It's the same way that Goku never wanted to be like completely. Like,
Luffy
yeah.
wouldn't
never
want to be
asked for
immortal.
immortality from the Dragon Balls.
Luffy
Yeah,
wouldn't
exactly.
want
Yes.
to be immortal.
It's that same thing. I think it'd take away like what is great about your character. Like if he's immortal, then it's like okay, fine, we've got an immortal main character, great.
Well, also, like, if he becomes immortal and he's also Joy Boy, then what's the point in continuing reading? Because he's
just
just
OP, yeah.
the strongest everything
agreed.
forever and
Agreed.
ever.
I get. Well, the other
And what
thing
would be
is,
the
so
point?
it's also not immortality. They've already said that it's eternal youth operation is what it was renamed.
Well,
to,
even so, like, eternal youth. Like,
but you
just
can
makes
still
you
be, but
way
you can
too
still be
strong.
killed. That's what I'm saying.
it'd
You can't-
be irrelevant though for Luffy,
Yeah, but,
considering
like,
he's like 16
exactly.
right now. Like it wouldn't
Yeah.
really give him much. Like,
Yeah, it'd do nothing.
And
for
with his
him.
power set right now to give him eternal youth, who's gonna be able to fucking kill him?
And also, I think it would just make the end of it really. Meh. Do you
Yeah,
know what
I don't
Go,
think. I don't.
Hey,
think
let's go into the final fight where Luffy definitely can't really die.
Look, if it's
There is no
honestly,
risk
if
here.
it's that, or it was the friends along the way, I'd much rather the friends along the way. Oh, Luffy's just invincible and no one can take him down. Now it's boring.
I'd actually be inclined to agree with you, If I'm not a fan of
Yeah.
the friends along the way, but I'd actually be inclined to agree with you if that was going to happen.
Yeah.
It's the lesser of two evils.
Yes,
Let's just say that.
absolutely. Right, next theory, Sam. Let's go.
Okay, this is basically the final one other than my fun little one. And actually ties into this very well because this theory is about the Gorosei. So, the theory is Saint Jupiter will betray the Gorosei and Imu. He will also be persecuted by Imu and Saint Gal in Finland. So Saint Jupiter, should I just say, can I just call him Jupiter for the sake of it? Because
Yeah, please do.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
really
Jupiter
annoying.
is really.
But it is J-U-Peter, you know? It's
I know,
a special
but
word.
reading it, even when I read it, I didn't read it as Saint Jupiter. I was like, oh, that's Saturn, that's Jupiter.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how I read
okay.
it myself when I
I'll
was
just
reading
call
the
him
chapter.
Saint Jupiter.
Yeah, you go for that.
Saint Jupiter is potentially inspired by Saint Peter, who was crucified by Roman Emperor Nero. And what family
He was
does
a Jew.
Emu come from? That's right, the Nerona family. The Gorosei are clearly inspired by the solar system, and when humans, back in Roman and Greek times, thought and believed that Earth was the centre of everything. In Greek mythology, Jupiter is Zeus, who fought against his father, the ruler of the world, to save his siblings. Zeus was also the youngest of his siblings, just like Jupiter. He's the only one who asks questions about why the world government does things, like why they changed the name of the Hito no Mi, some model sun god Nika, and why Lucia Kingdom was chosen to be destroyed. We know Jupiter is the agricultural god, which could hint at him being in support of life. Also, his first name is Shepherd, which could mean he could help shepherd the world into a new age away from the systems in play. Emu is starting to make moves and could ask St. Jupiter to do something that goes against his hidden morals, leading him to betray Emu and be persecuted by St. Garling Figurland.
Right. Okay. My one thing with this is that I completely understand the theory behind it. It checks out as a theory. However, my one thing is that we've seen the Gorosei do some pretty awful stuff right now. what is it that draws Jupiter like enough to be like, yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. That's a bit too much. What line can there be that needs to be crossed that's like, nah, okay.
Well,
nah.
they're about to kill Crocodile as they're about to reveal that it's Luffy's mum. And
and
he's like, no, that has to be a true theory.
I need to find out to support that. I think by that point, like the Gorosei have to have a good moral compass.
They've done horrific things already, and he has been
Yeah.
part of those horrific things.
has.
Like,
Yeah, so why would he suddenly be like, yeah, I don't agree with that, Imu? And it's like,
yeah, because surely the point of that would be someone all of a sudden sitting on the throne would be like, if you're gonna do that kind of thing, I think it'd be like an immediate, I need to fight that person, not I'll wait until right at the end and then I'll turn around and stab them in the back like a hero.
But then at the same time, the smart option is to wait until all the pieces fall into play. Because if you know you've got no chance, but everybody is working towards the same thing, you can then gather a stronger power. That I can understand, maybe waiting for the right time.
I can understand.
But I kind of agree with Pepe, like, why, if you're going to go along, like, surely it's hard, right? Surely you'd already be doing something in the background each time to try and minimize as much damage as possible, right? But it doesn't seem that way. It just seems like they're like, yeah, sure,
Unless
come
we just
fuck shit
haven't
up. I don't
seen-
care.
I'd agree.
him do
Well, no,
that
because
yet.
I would agree.
That is true too.
Well, you say that. The thing is, you go. One of the theory things is because he's the only one that questions these things, but he's also then the reason that the reader gets to get an answer to a question. That's what he is. He is the surrogate reader for that information. He's the
He's the
newest of
exposition
them,
dump.
so they need someone to be like, oh well, why do we do this? Why do we do that? So that they can go, oh, we did it for this reason, and then the reader goes, oh, they did it for that reason.
Yeah, it's like kind of like when we've seen betrayals in anime before. We've seen like that kind of, like when it's like the whole kind of minor backstory where it's like it probably gets summed up in a chapter of like, oh, I'm gonna betray you now, and then it's like, oh, okay.
The thing is as well with a lot of betrayal in anime, there's always foreshadowing of it. It doesn't just leap out of nowhere, and I would say there's been no foreshadowing on a betrayal from him.
Unless we haven't seen
But
the
what
right
is-
places. This is one thing. With foreshadowing, it's like, oh, the events always happen to be like, oh, that was foreshadowed.
Oda is king
But-
of foreshadowing.
Yeah, so
But also, like, what if this is the foreshadowing?
Yeah.
Like, what if this is actually the
We've got
foreshadowing?
years-
and
we've
it's
got
playing
years of this
into
to come.
way into the future.
yeah.
No, I've watched like 26, 7 years of it. I'm not watching anymore.
Done now.
I want the answer
More
now or never.
But yeah, I probably wouldn't be mad if it did happen, but I'm also kind of I don't think it's all there just yet. That
I
theory.
do, yeah, I do like the whole Saint Peter and Emperor Nero kind of thing, and how his
Yeah.
name is
I think
Peter.
there's
She's
a
from
there's
the
a lot
Nerone
missing as well,
family.
like in information about them as well. We still don't know a huge amount about the Gorosei anyway, because
Yeah.
even they're still kind of shrouded in mystery.
Are we now assuming they're all mythical zones? By the way, I think we kind of have to, right?
I
don't know.
One of
it's-
them was like a parrot or something. One.
Oh yeah,
The
mythical parrot.
mythical- one of them's
Scary.
one of them's a
Nathan, it
hippo.
could be a cockatrice. That's a parrot, a big evil
Oh,
parrot.
yeah, okay, fair.
What about it?
But
What
when
about
you
a
say
hippo, though?
mythical parrot, that doesn't.
No, we've already
conjure,
we've
like,
already seen it.
fear
Well,
in
I mean,
me.
we've seen a cockatrice already. It's in Impel Down.
Oh shit, yeah.
What about the hippo thing then? What mythical zone is the hippo?
A hippo.
Mythical zone,
They are a myth.
hippo no me.
Is that?
Yo, hippos are scary, man. Hippos,
Dude, yeah, no.
they kill.
Oh, yeah, oh,
Dude, they got some. They
Yeah, but
go
they're
fast.
not
They run
mythical.
fast.
This isn't like on the level of a phoenix or whatever. It's a hippo. It exists.
Well, there you go. You just said it right there, Pepe. It couldn't be. It might not be a parrot. Maybe it is a phoenix. Oh no, we've got a phoenix. Oh,
No,
shit.
'cause Marco's
yeah,
a phoenix.
Yeah.
Marco's phoenix.
I forgot about
Yeah.
Marco for a second.
You'd
yeah.
have to run down how many freaking random things. I mean, these could be anything as well. I don't think they're all necessarily zones either. I feel like they
I'd
could
love
be.
to look at that image again, but I don't know where it is because I
I think one of them is the mythical CrocMom.
Boy!
Hito no Mi CrocMom.
Looking back at that image though, where they are silhouetted, one of them does have, like Gear 5 Luffy has the awakened, like, was it a weird scarf of smoke kind of thing, and Lucci has it as well in his awakened form. if you look back at that image of the silhouettes, one of them does have the awakened like scarf thing. I don't know if I'm using the right phrasing or not.
I know what you mean. It's the thing that goes around that's like the
Yeah.
like it does have a name and I can't think of
It's
the name,
like
but they have it around like the God of Thunder and the God of... You see it quite often in like the Japanese
Yeah.
depictions of the God of Thunder and Lightning both
Yeah.
having it.
And one of them does have it in the silhouette. So like we've all I think there's been discussed as that, or like I don't know if it's confirmed whether all awakenings have that or not, because Lucci has it and Luffy has it, but certain awakened fruits don't have it.
Oh, one
So-
could be... Okay, actually, speaking of that, the one that looks like a bird could be a Quetzalcoatl.
Oh, interesting.
That's true.
A Quetzalcoatl, it's like a... So I'll get the picture up. It's not a very good
Yeah.
one.
It's kind
But this one up here,
Quetzalcoatl is kind
Yeah.
of like
that one there, it's a snake bird.
One
kind
of
thing.
them's definitely an octopus.
Uh,
One of them looks like an
Kraken.
octopus.
Maybe
Kraken,
Kraken.
maybe?
Yeah, Kraken.
Yeah, Kraken would check out.
yeah.
Um,
Emu just looks like a giant
Octopus.
blob, so I'm just gonna.
One of
go
them
with
looks like
she's
it
got
could be
the
a kind of...
void
The
fruit.
thing is, one of them looks like it could be a bull, and that doesn't really make full sense. One of them looks like it's a guy just
Minotaur?
screaming his head off. Like, well, there's already a Minotaur. It's in Impel Down.
Yeah,
That
but
guy
isn't
there's
that not
just
created,
screaming.
or is it? Yeah, I mean that's just a thing.
I like the whole emu's got the void fruit. I'm just gonna say that they're just like a giant blob because they're just a Logia that's void of the void, and so she's just like that.
I think they're just
Yeah,
waiting
it
to reveal. I think they're just waiting to reveal that really it's just Ace. Underneath that
just
cowl.
because I like to derail things, I actually think that Emu is kind of like the Truth from Full Metal
Yes.
Alchemist.
Like when you look at the eyes,
So
actually, it's
really,
very
the
similar.
The true One Piece is hidden behind Truth. Done. I'm finished now.
And that's
I
when
win.
Luffy becomes Edward Elric, and
I win, Theory King.
God,
I'm king of theories.
Luffy finally gets his brother's body back, but at the expense of him losing
Expense
his
of
gum
crew-
gum
of his
powers.
crew. Equivalent exchange.
Yeah.
At the expense of his youth, he becomes very old, and Ace comes back.
As a suit
but
of
he's
armor.
also really small.
He's a suit of armor, actually, Ace.
No, it's the opposite. Ace is now really small because he's been giving up all of his nutrients. over the
okay,
years.
okay, for real, guys, we need to discuss the important thing. Do you think that Ace got isekai'd?
Yes. To Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah,
He's in a new anime.
he is Edward Elric.
If it can happen to
Yeah,
Harley
see?
Quinn and the
Full
Joker,
circle.
it can happen to Ace.
To be fair, there is like one panel that the author of Doctor Stone wrote that what is it? Ace ended up in the Doctor Stone universe.
Oh, I just thought of the Ace is the Human Torch. He got.
It's
isekai
Johnny
into-
Storm.
Yeah, Fantastic Four.
Of all the names that he gives himself, I'm now
Luffy
Johnny
gets isekai'd.
Storm.
Well, that makes sense because Luffy gets isekai'd and becomes Reed Richards.
Yep.
The only awkward one is Sheer of the Rain becoming the Invisible Woman.
It's alright, we've got Ivankov's help for that, it's all good.
Okay, yeah, no, we're good. The Thing, I guess that would be Pika.
Yeah, Pika. What
Yeah,
a team!
probably.
What a team!
What a ridiculous, absolutely absurd team.
And Kid
Okay.
is Doctor Doom. Although Kid
Useless
is
Captain
decimated.
Mid.
Are we gonna see? Just to say, are we
Yeah,
gonna
be
see
used
Kid
to
again?
Kid. He can use magnetism.
Are we gonna see them again?
Um,
They got decimated.
Yeah,
Sorry?
I reckon.
Oh,
I reckon.
Kid. I reckon it's going to be with the straw hat.
It literally
yeah,
said
he's-
completely
I
and
still
utterly
think-
defeated. You reckon he'll join the Straw Hat Grand Fleet?
Okay, tell me the
I
last
think so.
character
Only
in.
Him and
Tell me
Locke.
the last character in One Piece that was killed.
No, I don't. I'm not saying he was killed.
Like-
I'm just saying like it's literally said he was completely and utterly defeated. Will we see
Yeah.
him again?
Yeah,
But they also
defeat
said the
doesn't
same
mean
for-
that
He
won't
doesn't have
come
a
They said
back.
the
ship
same
anymore.
to. They said the same to Trafalgar Law. He doesn't have a ship anymore.
True.
Also, Kid can probably just make a ship out of the trash.
Yeah.
I'm a trash man.
Useless Captain Mid and his trash ship. Fantastic.
So this
I'm
whole
captain
guy-
of the trash pirates.
The guy that has run into Yonkos 4 different times and, other than with Trafalgar Law's help, lost every time.
That's because he's king of the trash pirates.
Also, it is worth saying that Captain Kidd in the original lore had the worst luck out of
Yeah,
any
he
of the
did.
pirates,
Yeah.
He literally didn't. He like the first year that he set out to be a privateer was when they became illegal. It was when they
Pretty
literally became criminals.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that was.
What was the original theory?
This is.
I don't even
this
know
is
anymore. We've
Saint
got no
Jupiter.
Is kid?
Oh, Jupiter. Oh, yeah, that's
Saint Jupiter.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
But
yeah,
it actually
okay.
leads me into the last one, which I haven't written down, which I just thought would be fun because I think Nathan's gonna love it and Pepe's gonna hate it. So
Great.
Oh,
Oh,
this
it's
is perfect
CrocMom
then.
Part 2.
Let's
it'll be
go,
it'll be a
let's
good
go.
one, and it actually plays
Croco
into
brother.
the whole. It plays into the whole kid getting decimated by Shanks.
Okay.
So the theory sounds silly
Kid
just
is
saying
Shanks'
it.
son.
The
Wants
theory
to keep
is
him out of the
that
fight.
everyone's waiting for this giant fight between the Red Hair Pirates and the Straw Hat Pirates, right? Everyone's thinking it's going to be amazing, like Yasop versus Usopp, Lucky Roo versus probably Sanji or something, and all of that, and it's going to be amazing.
Okay.
The Davy back fight is actually significant because Luffy and Shanks are going to be like, let's not fight, we're friends. Instead, let's settle this with a Davy back fight. And they're all going to fight in Davy back style.
If I could describe my feelings right now, it'd be the feeling of throwing up in your own mouth, is what I've gathered from that.
A sharp
I thought you
shooting
were-
fight between Yasop and Usopp.
I would, no.
I think if it did that, I think it would just go down in one of those all-time worst endings.
How would
If they
two of
did
your
that.
How would two of your theories revolve out long land, bruv? How have two of these come up? How is that the second one? And none of the other
You
ones are
foxy
really connected.
sympathizer, you.
Yeah. You know what makes me mad? Even in the One Piece live action trailer, they foreshadowed Foxy. Like,
That
at
means
the
we're
end.
getting a Davy back fight episode in season
I
2.
don't
Oh,
want
that's the only other thing actually. Because I thought you were going to go for a different theory, which was the very small theory that Kid is actually Shanks' son in some way, and Shanks defeated them to keep them out of the end fight
Is that
basically to
because
stop-
he's got red hair?
because he doesn't want his son to die. Yeah,
That'd be
literally
the most
the only
ridiculous
tenuous
thing,
link of
yeah.
that, and they both lost an arm.
Oh, because that doesn't make you his son.
Oh no.
I never
does
said
that-
it was a good
by that
theory.
logic, that everyone who loses the same limb, they're all related now, is it?
Well, doesn't that mean Hawkins is like Shank's son as well? Because
Isn't Hawkins? I thought Hawkins is technically dead, because
Well, no. Hawkins lost the arm. So
yeah, but the whole thing was
Is
that he
Hawkins
actually got
dead?
killed. I believe he's dead, because
Hawkins
you know
ain't
when
dead,
he's
dead, is he?
you remember when he's doing his like reading and he says absolutely 0% of them living, and you find out at the very end of that fight he was talking about himself.
Is Hawkins dead?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, Hawkins literally is like, before the fight begins, he's doing his whole, I'm going to put tarot cards on a straw. And he's like, no matter how I look at it, there's a 0% chance of this man living at the end of this.
Well,
And
to be
at
fair,
the end of the fight,
yeah.
at the end of the fight between Killer and him, he literally goes like, I knew I had no chance of winning, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So,
Speaking
No.
of death.
I want this theory to play out different. I'll just say that, just different.
Speaking of death, though,
the Davy Back
are
theory.
Kaido and Big Mum dead?
Fucking hell, they're at the bottom of volcano right now.
I mean, I
It's,
having a
don't
bubble- they're having a
believe
nice-
Big Mum has to have survived because surely
They're
if
making-
she died, Zeus would have like.
I don't know if this will be.
disappeared, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
I can't imagine that they're dead. Like, it'd be a bit. I think it'd be explicitly said if they were dead. I think.
I think they're busy making the main character of Two Piece together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what Big Mum's like with the fucking numerous
Exactly.
children. So.
Yeah.
Would you be shocked?
I wouldn't be, to be fair. But no,
I will just say though, Kaido could do a lot better.
I mean, when she was younger, she wasn't bad.
Charlotte, D.
Like, when you
Yeah,
see her as
but
part
we're
of the
talking about
when you
big,
see her as part
we're
of the
talking about
Rocks.
Big Mom now. Like, come on, man. Like, Kaido, you slipping, bro. You slipping.
Life or sex.
I mean, she's
Instead of life or
she's
death.
managed to seduce a good like 80+ men. So
Is it seduce or?
I
is
mean,
that
yeah,
from
but when you look
fear?
at like Lola and Chiffon's father, I mean,
yeah, true.
It's a lot.
I mean, this all plays into what I want for the ending of this theory.
Go on.
that they're all a big family.
So, yes, exactly. They all just like, no, we're not gonna fight. We're gonna hug. We're gonna make up. And it turns out everyone's related. We're one crazy big family. The whole world is weird, and everyone's related.
And Enel's
Croc
still
Mum,
on the
Shank
moon.
Dad, every fucking thing. Like all the names mixed with some sort of title. Croc Mum forever. Like
I'm defeated right now. There we go.
Yeah.
I still
have
love
achieved my goal.
I still love the fact that Enel lives on the moon canonically.
I want to see his return, man. You can't just put man on the moon.
No, he lives on the fairyverse. That's where he lives now
NL,
with his robots.
Speaking of NL, that just reminded me of another one. It was a theory that I saw yesterday, actually, or Friday, when I was compiling.
Who's he related
when I was
to?
CrocMom.
When I was compiling all of these together.
He's actually Dragon.
He's Foxy's son. No.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense
No,
at
that's
all.
not the theory. That's not the theory. The theory
I wish
is,
it was,
we still haven't seen a Logia awakening that we know of. So this giant form.
Well, we haven't seen it, but we've seen the effect of it.
But this giant form that Enel had of him being like this giant electric man kind of electric avatar thing, that is actually an awakened Logia. So it would be like for big lava man thing, big ice man thing, all of those kind of things.
See, I think it's different. I think
Lightning Moon?
But then at the same time, Lightning Moon. Like
Lightning
in that form,
Moon.
he does.
Lightning Moon.
He does have that kind of like scar thing we were talking about earlier in that as well.
He does. That's true.
What scar thing?
Scarf. You know
Scarf.
that scarf.
Oh,
You know
scarf.
the
I thought you said scar
awakenings.
thing. I've heard a massive and I'm surprised. It's probably part of the one that you were bringing up, but it's the whole thing of Skypiea, the bit of land there, the right eye of the skull when you put Skypiea, and is it? I forget what the name of the place
Jaya?
is called.
No, it isn't Jaya.
Jaya.
Is it?
It's close to Jaya.
Yeah.
If you put those together, it makes a skull, and there's a big fan theory that Raftail used to be where the right eye is, because the right eye is the
left
right
eye.
or the right?
Left eye. This is the one
The
which
left
I
eye, yeah.
mentioned was about 4 pages, 20
Yes.
pages long or something. I just found it on Reddit, and it is. I mean, if you want, I can read it, but we'll be here all night.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say
Yes.
I've watched a video on it, and I'm not endorsing them or anything like that. You can cut it out if you want to blank who it was, but if you guys want to watch it, Grand Line Reviews, he did a massive video on it. I'll put it into our chat later.
Is that
you can
the
have a read of it.
6-part TikTok?
No, it might be. I don't know if he's the one that did the TikTok, but
maybe.
he did it as a video on YouTube first.
Yeah.
If it might have been broken up into a 6-part
It is
TikTok.
quite an interesting theory, but
It is.
I would definitely
Some bits
recommend.
of it are very, very like nah. But some bits of it do have some validity, or at least some kind of like you can kind of do what we've done where you like, where you think CrocMom, yeah, I could see that kind of thing.
It's not that you can see that; it's that it's real. Please now.
Yeah, that'll be that's got to be. I was thinking when you said there's like one that was like 24 pages long, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be that one. Yeah, where it's like so the left eye of I think it is Jaya. I think you were right about that actually.
Yeah.
Originally Jaya, then becoming whatever, is the eye of is where Raftail is. Is it Raftail or Laugh-Tail? I forget because they kind of switch between it quite often.
They go Raftail is what they are in it, but then it's revealed later on that it's Laugh-Tail.
Laugh-Tail, yeah.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, that theory is like, the One Piece might also be at like the very bottom of where Ennis Lobby was. So I don't know. It's a bit of a massive.
No,
you need
yeah,
to kind of,
no. That's
I'm definitely not doing it
meant to be
justice,
the
and I
very
would
end
say
of the Grand Line, right? So why would people be doubling back to Long Wing Longland or to Innie's Lobby for
exactly.
it?
Yeah.
I know. So that's the thing, and that's where like this theory is a little bit like, that doesn't make sense. But
Guys,
I'd advise. I'll give you a link, but
what if One Piece was
CrocMom?
actually on the moon
And else found
Enel
it.
was actually got it already?
Enel, King of the Pirates.
Yeah, and it turns out everything was for naught because you guys fucked up. You're not even on the right planet. You fucking idiots.
Fun.
Shall we wrap this up then, by the way, because
Sure.
I feel like we've been talking. Right.
Yeah, probably best.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you, Sam, for coming to us with these theories. Thank you for actually finding doing the research for them.
Pleasure.
And thank you, Matt, for joining us as well for this. Do each of you just want to give a shout out to where anyone can find you guys?
Sure, I'm just at youtube.com/The Wilder Side. If you like food and other foodie things and more food, then just come and check me out, and I do food stuff every week.
Also, if you like painfully British, then check
Apparently
out Sam.
painfully British is a thing.
That's how I've always
I should
described
change
it.
my name to just painfully British.
So while the side is no more, now you're painfully British.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can find me and Fliss. We are twitch.tv/the powered up couple. We've got Twitter as well and a Discord, all linked together in some way or another. We play games on a Wednesday, Friday, and we're actually starting up a new one on a Monday.
It's it needs to be noted. We will have all links in the description, along with all of the creators that came up with these theories. We're gonna have everything in the description. It's gonna be massive.
This is
Probably
when we
gonna hate
find out.
myself for
This
having
is when
to
we find
compile
out
it
the
all.
person that created the CrocMom idea was actually Pepe.
I'm not gonna
He
lie.
just hates that it got
I'm
so
not
big.
gonna lie.
He hates that it blew up that much.
I didn't look into anything with. I don't know the original creator of the CrocMom theory or the original creator of the Blackbeard theory. Like those,
Look,
I
we're-
just know.
I'll
so
say
I put
this.
them. I just wrote them down.
They were.
I'll
you can
say this:
research it, you can
we are
research
not
that.
going to go that
Yeah.
far. Okay, whoever put it on TikTok or wherever Sam saw it, that's who's getting credited
Fair.
from us. But we're not saying that they created it.
That's just where you can
Disclaimer.
Just say, just call it. This is where Sam.
That's where you can
found
find a link to the theory.
it. Yes, there you go.
Yes, don't scream at us. Okay,
Scream
I
at
disclaimed
Pepe.
everything. Yeah, because he doesn't like CrocMom.
I'm just gonna spam Pepe with pictures of CrocMom now.
Yeah, I can't
Yes,
wait.
We will definitely do that.
Right, and on that note, guys, thank you for listening to the Cultured Boys with Matt from the Power Couple and Sam from the Wilder Side. If you want to check us out on all podcast platform, links are in the description. We're also on Twitter. You can find us there. And also remember to like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of jazz. Do that shit. And yeah, we'll see you next time for another Cultured Boys episode. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.